Hi all, welcome back. Fields of Fire, the Normandy campaign, Mission 2, Cerisy Offensive. This is my part 14. Yes, indeed. So yeah, a little bit time passed, but I'm back. Not an awful lot of time to be honest, but I've been itching to get back. I must admit I'm kind of hooked on this at the moment. Not an awful lot to talk about, I don't think. I'm sure there'll be things pop up in my head, but no, there's not been an awful lot. Although, to resolve this counter-attack situation, Andrew did come back with another comment, and then Martin said something. It's on the BGG thread. It's one of the newer posts on Fields of Fire. Counter-attack turns, it is called, the thread. But rather than read it all out and whatever, I think Andrew didn't maybe quite pick up what our problem was with it. But anyway, he does eventually. He says, "Oh, okay, I think I understand. You're talking about the wording in the second edition book." Well, yeah. I don't know. Again, I thought, right, maybe I don't make things that clear. I don't know. I know sometimes I like. Anyway, to get straight here. PC placement instructions are in the mission book. He says it overrides anything in the rule book. Normandy Mission 2 is place markers on every US occupied card once. So there's not, you go in the next turn, they place them again or whatever. He then carries on, tactics are in the rule book, assault for 3 turns. So I did do it properly. I placed the PC markers the first turn, and then we done the assault tactics for the 3 turns. But you can understand Martin's confusion about it, because it doesn't make it very clear. But like I said, one of the comments Andrew had made was, what was it? What was his comment about it? Yeah, it was further down, wasn't it? Yeah, you can see why we deleted all this and started again, right? Because yeah, that's a big mess, that, isn't it? He says potentially placing PC markers every turn could be a thing. That's not incorrect. Doesn't happen in Normandy though. So that's basically what we were asking, I think, Andrew. Whether I didn't word it properly at first, maybe. And yeah, I know you comment that I explained it in the rulebook, but it's when Martin sent his comment, and the bit about over a number of turns is a bit misleading and could throw you and make you wonder, why is that there? That's basically it. However, he says that's all going to be straightened out in the 3rd edition mission book and whatever. Doesn't seem to be anything in the rules, but then you wouldn't really want the counter-attack stuff in the rule book, would you? Where it is in the old book, you would want it where it's relevant in the mission book, I would think. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen, and we should all be good when that appears. And he did say that these are possibly going to show up. Well, they're going to show up sooner than the actual release of the deluxe version, so that'd be good to get a hold of the PDF versions of them. Well, in particular, I'm just the first mission book, because just to see how it compares to the old one and see where we're at with that. Okay. Well, that was really the only thing I think I had to talk about that I can think of. Right, so let's push on. Did I finish the turn? I can't have had. I've done my usual again, yeah. I've definitely not finished the turn, because there's a concentrate fire marker there. I've not marked things again. That's just kind of silly, Grant. I want to say we were moving on to the enemy higher HQ event phase, but because I know none of this has been resolved, because I know we blundered. We've got an assault team with a smoke on the card waiting to drop the smoke, and we've got no actions left. We drew a 0 for our general initiative. So yeah, that's quite this has been a bit comical, this area up here, not in a good way for me. Everything that happened, and looking back and watching me talking about wanting to fire this artillery, and the mortar's already firing in there, and I'm like, no, it's not, Grant, that was the turn before, the mortar's pinned, so it can't have been. Anyway, and even backing up and trying to fix it, and we still didn't succeed. I did get a comment from Mike actually. Yeah, that was one. That was one other bit. Actually, I also forgot to say, Mike. You mentioned about the ammo. You know, when they run out of ammo. Yeah, it isn't the end of the world when my machine guns run out of ammo. Some counters have. I think. Well, you commented on the fact you've got out of ammo. Have I not got one out here? I thought I brought one out previously. Maybe not. Yeah, if they run out of ammo. No, that's not it either. Wait till. Oh, there's one. I'm going to look it up to be sure because there's an out of ammo marker. So I think that would just get put on a machine gun, and then it would still be able to fire with small arms at close range. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as its automatic fire at long range, but it's run out of that ammo, so it's just got small arms now. Some units have another side though. They have the back side of their counter that you can just flip to. I think I want to say it's in the rules. Well, maybe while we are talking about it, Grant. Yeah, it's here. It's just Mike had made a comment about it. He didn't even know this was a thing. I think he said, but I knew there was two. Yeah, there's two different ways it can happen. It says run out of ammo occurs when the last ammo point is fired. There are two ways ammo units are indicated. If a weapons unit, MG, mortar, rocket launcher, recoil rifle, etc., runs out of ammunition and is a one-step unit, and its fire team side has an S or AS VOF, flip the unit to its fire team side. Now that could be the case. I don't know. Let me see. My worry here is that some of these counters, I want to say, might have been altered, but yeah, see that there's this machine gun's normal side, right? And if I was to flip that over, all that happens to it is still automatic weapons but at close range, so that's not any good because it says it runs out of ammunition, it is a one-step unit, and its fire team side has an S or AS VOF, flip the unit to its fire team side. Well, that one's not. It's got an A rather than an AS. But I'm wondering if these, because why have they got that on that side? Well, actually, what that could be is if that takes a hit and gets an F result, then you would just flip it to that, wouldn't you? Yeah, of course. Okay, so that doesn't have that, but obviously you need to check if it's a one-step unit and it's one of these types: machine gun, mortar, rocket launcher, recoil rifle, etc. If it's one step, look on its backside, and if it's got an S or an AS, then just flip it to its fire team side. The machine guns that we've got though, however, if a weapons unit runs out of ammunition and is more than one step, or it's a one-step unit but its fire team side is something other than S or AS, place an out of ammo marker on the unit. Until the unit can pick up more ammo, it has an SVOF rating and a range rating of close, regardless of what is printed on the counter. And that's what that's got. So you put that on it and it becomes small arms at close range. Yeah, so that's that. And then yeah, Mike brought that up because I didn't think he knew that was that. What happened? Maybe just thought that when it ran out of ammo, that was that. No, I was aware of that one. Just wasn't 100% sure which one it was, if I could just flip it or not. But you can see there that by flipping that machine gun unit, it's not going to apply that. So I would need to put the out of ammo marker on. Yeah, and one of the other things Mike mentioned was that it was in part 12. I've asked him to send me a timestamp if he can. He said that I moved a unit, I moved a squad, or there was an exposed squad, and what I did was I split an assault team from that exposed squad and then moved it again. He didn't think I could do that. And I kind of replied to him, there's a few issues here. Although Andrew's come back and saying you could infiltrate onto a card, detach a team, then infiltrate again. That one could be slightly different, and you might well have a point. I'm not sure about that one because the squad's exposed. But again, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, I could post that question. It wouldn't surprise me if Andrew said that was fine to then detach a team from the squad that was exposed and then be able to carry out the other action with it. But I don't know. That is one that needs to be straightened out as well, because that is kind of different from infiltrating twice. In a way, the unit's never exposed when it does that. But I have asked that. I mean, I think I've said that a few times about what happens if it's exposed and you split a team. Can you then move the unit forward? I've obviously done it because Mike's pointed it out. It's just he didn't give me a timestamp, and part 12, well, it's 40, 50 minutes long or something like that. So I wasn't sure where it had occurred, but hopefully I can see and have a look at that, and then maybe we can get that one straightened out as well. I'll more than likely just post a question about that, I think, Mike, just to see if you can do it or not. Again, it's one of the ones it doesn't sound like you should be able to do it, but the stuff that Andrew's come back with recently said there's nothing to stop you doing it in the rules. So, and the rule Mike quotes is 5 point, I want to say 1.2 or something. Was I right? You know what? I was right. And I'm not looking at his post. You see how some things stick in your mind? I'm not looking at his post. I just seem to recall that was a number. So, yeah, rules for moving another car, marked units. You may not move a unit that is marked with an exposed marker to a new card. Right, so you've got a squad, it's moved, it's exposed. You then carry out another action to detach an assault team from that squad, so you reduce it by 1 step. The squad's still exposed. What about the assault team? Is the assault team considered exposed, or is it not? And I've been asking this one, I've asked this one again, and also somebody else. The question is out there, but not really officially answered. And somebody else, this person also asked about what if you had an exposed assault team or fire team and you wanted to put it back into a squad that wasn't exposed? Would that make the squad then exposed? I don't know. So maybe we do need to clear that one up for sure. It kind of feels like, in particular when you're splitting, when you're detaching an assault team from an exposed squad, I would say that surely that team's got to be exposed. But then, like I've just been saying, what Mike said, what Andrew said about the infiltrate thing, about detaching a team and then you could still infiltrate. It's as if it's got no knowledge and it's a new unit and it's sort of, yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully we can get that one straightened out. I think that was all he mentioned. The reason it brought up was he says he thinks I was quite right to actually take the artillery fire on, even though I'd moved on a bit, because it was clearly something that I'd just forgotten to do, and I think it probably was quite clear. I said to him that if it hadn't been for me making that part in between the two parts, we're all just talking about things and errors and going over a few things, I probably would have remembered what was going on, but because I had that gap, I came back and then I should have looked though. I mean, when you're looking for income, if there's an incoming marker, you've got to remember, but then again, it can depend where you are in the sequence of play. You've got to look at the sequence of play and say, right, is that an incoming marker? Or there's a pending fire mission coming in, so that's before the incoming part. But if there's an incoming marker there, that means it's either going to go away or it's just triggered. So it depends on the sequence of play where you are. So I should have straightened myself out with that before I started carrying on playing. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I still don't know where I am. I think it's the Enemy HQ event, but I'm just going to go and double check. Yeah, so just double check. As us moving on to the Enemy Higher HQ event, I was just that disgusted with my 0 draw for general initiative. All I wanted was a 1 and I got a 0. Yeah, well, that wasn't the reason I stopped. I didn't have the time to do it. Okay, let's draw for Enemy Higher. Now, I'm just looking at, there's an awful lot in the discard pile, and we've already missed a reshuffle. Blunder. I'll just glancing through the discard pile just in case I've left it in there. No, I've not, so it's going to be one of these. Right, so Enemy Higher HQ event. There is not an event, so probably good. Now, where are we now? So enemy activity check. And we're past with the counter-attack stuff. Right, okay. Still haven't had any comments regarding how if I should randomise the units on the card. So I'm just going to carry on doing that. It's just a draw, an extra draw of cards. It might not matter. So we've got one pinned fire team there. So that's going to be on the pinned lat chart. That's fire team and paralysed team. That's ours, that's all ours. And then over here, no, that's just a casualty, isn't it? Oh yeah, we're going to get to capture that. Are we not at that step yet? No, I think it's next. Yeah. So the fact it's under foxholes enemy, I don't think it... Yeah, I'm actually... For enemy units undercover, I don't think it matters. We just get to capture them anyway. So, yeah. So there's just 2 cards with enemies on it. Here and here. Is that correct? Yeah, we've not got any potential... Oh, yeah, we have. We've got this one here. Well, of course, and we should have been having one here, but he had to go away and guard that paralysed team. Right, so there's 2 cards, so I'll call this 1 and this 2. And we've got a 2. Right, so I'm just going to straight up randomise between the 2. So the fire team's 1, the paralysed team's 2. We've got a 1. So it's going to be the fire team first to see, and it's enemy lat pinned. They're all pinned. Well, they're all lats. Well, that one's pinned up the top. Right, and I've just came away there. What is he? So he's a fire team. He's not undercover. Right, he's not pinned though. So no. 2 or more assault or fire teams. No, there's only 1. Assault team on opposing units card. No, he's a fire team. No. I think, did we not look for him already and it wasn't able to do anything? Fire, I think so. Fire team not undercover on an opposing unit's card. Well, he's not undercover, but he's not on an opposing unit's card. You can see he's just got a friendly there with him. We're firing onto the card and we're throwing a grenade and concentrate fire, but he's not beside one of our units. So no, fire team undercover on opposing unit's card, no. And then we've got leader on fire team side. Spotter sniper or weapon team on fire team side, no. Witter team, no. Witter team, paralysed team. See, he can't do nothing. Yeah, I think this happened the last time. So he does no action, and I think that's right. I mean, it does say that if you go right through, and there's definitely nothing there that he can do. Yeah, because he's not pinned. He's not an assault team. And to be honest, the assault team instructions are when they're on an opposing unit's card as well. Can he not be firing at us? Oh, yeah, no, he is firing. Sorry, he's firing down here at this guy. Yeah. Yeah, with his automatic weapons. Aye, yes. So that's fine. So he's still doing something. So he's going to take no action. So now we look at the paralysed team. So yeah, there's not even a draw of cards for that because there's nothing to draw. There's not one of these instructions that allow anything. So yeah, I'm fine with that. So the paralysed team is not pinned. So no, none of that. In fact, it's going to be right down to the bottom one. No, it's not going to be able to do anything either. Because water team, paralysed team. Oh, no, this one does work. Sorry. It says paralysed team not on an opposing unit's card. So with no leader, it's going to be... it's just going to be no action. Automatic no action. If he had a leader, there was a chance he would attempt to rally. So he's going to do nothing as well. So in some ways, the randomising, the card that I drew to randomise between the two would have done nothing. But I am just going to stick with that for now. You cycle through these cards all the time. It's not such a biggie, I don't think. And yeah, I'm wanting to randomise between 2, so I'm doing that. Right, so up here we've got, what did I say? Well, he's pinned. He is a fire team, but he's pinned before he's a fire team. Anyway, that takes preference. And he's not undercover. And he's on an opposing unit's card. So is it the top one or the second one? Pinned on same card as an opposing unit and not under cover. It is indeed that one. So on a 5, we're going to draw a card, and there is the reshuffle card. I'm going to lay it at the side of me though, rather than putting the discard pile, because that's where I blundered the last time. So we're still going to draw a card first. On a 5, we get a, what was that? A 4. A 4, fall back. Yeah, well, nah, that's good. That is good. So it was pinned on same card as an opposing unit and not under cover, and it was a 4 or a 5 out of 5. Yeah, it was a 4 out of 5. So he's going to fall back. So he's going to fall off the map. Yeah, he's literally just going to fall off the edge of the table there. Well, there's nowhere to go back. He's on the top row, and it says that if he's got to fall back, he just goes off the map. So that comes off. I'll put that back in there. The pin marker comes off. He wasn't leaving any cover. His fire will come off. Oh no, stop, Grant, stop. No, that will. This isn't the combat segment, Grant. Yeah, that does come off, sorry. So he's not going to fire anymore. We're still going to fire on the card with automatic weapons. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, because he's fell back, he's off the map, and that gets adjusted right away. It's not that we're in the... I was starting to think we're in the combat segment and he's still going to get to fire at us, but that's not the case. Okay, well that's the 3 enemies dealt with, so that was kind of good. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. It feels a bit weak when they just go like that, but yeah. They are defensive. They're like, feel like he's in a bit of bother, he's done a bit of damage and he's going to fall back. A new enemy might come along and take his place or something. Okay, moving on. That's enemy activity check. Like capture any paralysed alert team alone a card with an unpinned infantry unit with a VOF rating. Yeah, this was the one I was blundering the reading of it, and I noticed, without going into too much detail, I read it wrong, but my unit at the time should have been pinned, because that whole A-rated squad thing, it's difficult to go into all that. I've made comments about it all anyway. I'm going to stop bringing up the comments that I made on video unless they're easily explained and it's a big error or it's a big thing or whatever. If I start talking about something that happened 2 parts ago or something, it's difficult to explain it. You know, as long as I'm getting it and I've noted that it was a blunder or I've said something wrong, as long as I know that, then that's fine. And you can read it in the header of the comments. I'd love to be able, when I first started doing these videos, I put comments on the video, you know, when it actually came to the bit on the video, I made the comment. But it's so much hassle doing that, because now I have to watch back the video, which I like to do, and then note all my errors. Then I need to then put the comments in the video, and I need to redo the video. You know, I'd need to redo it again. Put it through the program. I use Shortcut as I use. I mean, whether there's a quicker way of doing that, I think I understand that the YouTube, you're not able to like insert comments before on YouTube and just put it in where you wanted it. That would be great. I would do that, because I'd have all my notes and I could just put them all in. And then when you were watching the part, my note would come up saying, yeah, this is what happened, or you've done this wrong, Grant, or whatever. Whereas now I just put them all in the header, and you've really got to go and look at the timestamps and try and work it out. And I guess that can be a bit of a pain as well. But it's too much hassle me doing it the other way. Unless somebody's got a solution to that, a way that it would work quicker and that I can put a wee note in. But I think without having to redo the whole video, and it all takes time putting these videos through these programs, you know. It takes quite a while. When I first if I'm putting a 1 hour video together, it can take over an hour to like do what it does to it. It compresses it a bit and whatever else it does, I don't know. So I'd have to do all that again once I put the text in, and I'd have to go fiddling through getting the text. It's not as easy. So anyway, right. So the capture segment, capture any players or our team. How did I get off on one there with that? I have no idea. Yeah. Oh yeah, because the VOF rating. That's it. Yeah, and I was reading it wrong. And it's probably not that difficult to read on the actual sequence of play. However, I do prefer the way it's worded in the rulebook. It just flows better for me, but it's maybe just a me thing. So I understand it now, though, and we've not got any of that situation. There's a paralysed team there, but we don't have a friendly unit there with a VOF on it, and he's also he's not alone on the card. So, and there's none of ours that he can capture, so we'll move on. No, however, the bottom part, enemy casualties on unoccupied and friendly occupied cards are captured. So again, nothing came up about that. We've got a friendly on it this time, so this is going to be captured. The foxholes will stay there now, unoccupied, and that's a prisoner captured as well, I guess, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll just put that there as well. But he doesn't need a guard step to guard them because it's just a casualty. So that's that. Retreat segment. Retreat any unpinned paralysed team. Oh, that's going to work for them, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Because it says retreat any unpinned paralysed team under a VOF marker, 1 card. So here's an unpinned paralysed team under a VOF marker and the small arms fire. So he's going to retreat. Yeah, that's annoying. Right, and then the priority is no VOF, then best net combat modifier, random if equal, and mark exposed. Right, I'm not grabbing that one. 3.5.2. Let me see. Right, there it's am I recording? Yes. Here it's here, retreat segment. So retreat any unpinned, non-exposed, paralysed team. That's interesting. It didn't say non-exposed in the... well, can't move if it's exposed, Grant, so maybe that's kind of common sense. Non-exposed paralysed team under VOF marker, 1 card according to these priorities. So it wants to move to a card with a no VOF. Yeah, okay, got you. And then if it can't do that, card with the best NCM that is towards that unit's side edge of the map or landing zone. And then mark retreating paralysed and let our teams exposed. Enemy units who retreat from a card will retreat off the map, do not extend the map. Note that retreat in this phase overrides any movement restrictions for lats. Okay. Yeah, and we already know he doesn't need to move to a unit with a friendly unit, do we? Because they don't care about that as well. Okay, I think I might just have to randomise because there's no talk about the best cover or anything like that here, is there? It's just, it wants to move to a card with no VOF. And hang on, it's retreat. As in retreat though, do I need to go back 1 card? It's not... Yeah, is that not common sense as well, Grant? I guess I'm just wondering, can he move to here? Or does he have to go to one of these 2 cards at the back? I mean, surely it does. Surely that does. And remember, one of the priorities is the card with the best NCM that is towards that unit's side's edge of the map. Doesn't quite say that though. So surely retreat means going back the way, Grant. I mean, maybe not. He's getting off this card with the VOFs if he moves into here as well, It's not Not 100% clear. I mean, I do feel like it should be one of these two cards, because if we're doing the fall back thing, that does say, I mean, this isn't fall back, it's retreat, which is, I don't know, fall back priorities, that's what I was wanting to find. Will move towards their own side of the map. That's what it says for fall back. But this says retreat. I wonder if there's a glossary for the word retreat. There is not. I mean, you would, well, not necessarily so. Although you would think it would be retreat, this could be retreat, because it's moving out of the fire, you know? Retreat any paralysed team under VOF marker, 1 card, according to these priorities. Because, I mean, as weird as it may sound, say there was a VOF on this and there was a VOF on that and there was not a VOF on this card, then that would be a retreat to me. That would be illegal the way it's worded. It would be him moving to a card with no VOF. Well, that was quite interesting. I just searched the rulebook for the word retreat, and 2 different things came up talking about slightly different situations, but still with the word retreat. And it said that any unit that was on the sort of edge of its map, you know, any unit that was up here, shall we say, and if it got the retreat order, right, so if it's on here and it got a retreat, it went off the map. So that suggests that it wouldn't have the option of going there. However, I also came across another bit, I think it was talking about, was it CS gas or something? And that actually said that it would retreat to an adjacent card. So that could suggest that it was from here to here. So I'm still not clearer on that. So will I go and go and ask the question? I've not asked the question for a day. So I'm about due one. Yeah, I mean, unless I can find anything on the actual forums first. That's maybe not a huge bit. Well, it is. I want to do it right. I might be randomising between 3 cards here. I mean, I think I'm only randomising between the 2, but I'm not finding it clear there that it says retreat is move back a card. Right, okay. I did go and post that question. It feels like one of these kind of daft ones, but I just want to be sure. I could see it going either way, to be honest. I could. It doesn't look like it's clear to say that it has to move back, even though the word retreat feels like it has to move back, you know? But I mean, fall back does, it tells you that it's got to move towards its map edge. You know, so that tells you it has to move 1 back. So, yeah, I could see this coming back, that this is still, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a card, and I'm hoping, I've got the reshuffle card on the top there, Grant, which you could have just ignored and carried on there. Right, we've got a shuffle action coming. Yeah, so while I'm shuffling, what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to randomise 1, 2, 3. Well, can you do that though, Grant? I just want to move on because I'm not going to get an answer back right away. So, you could just put it wherever it lands. Then I'm kind of hoping it's going to go in one of these 2, and then I can get away with it. You know, if I've got it wrong and it needs to fall back, then you know, I can. It's a win-win. Right. You know what I'm going to draw here? I'm going to draw a 3. I don't know. Okay, let's shuffle, and see what we get. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and we'll see. So out of a 3, oh Jesus, as so That puts it there. If it was just the two we were doing it on, it would put it here. So how about I put it here. Is anything going to attack it? No, because they're firing that way. Sorry, maybe I need to zoom out a little bit. I thought they might at first, but they're all firing that. They've got a PDF. He's an assault team, and they've got a PDF. So yeah, so it wouldn't matter if it was here or here. It doesn't really have any effect. So I'm just killing time here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it there because that was the 3 exposed. I'm going to put a little blue cube here, and that's going to miraculously remind me. In fact, no, that'll be better. So that if somebody comes back and says it has to move back the way, then it'll be here exposed. And if not, if they come back and say no, it can move sideways as long as it complies with the first priority is card with no VOF. Well, none of these have got a VOF, so that's why we're randomising between the 3. And the next priority is card with the best net combat modifier, that is to your units. But none of them had a net combat modifier, so. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that, and then I'll kill time till I get an answer with that. And then if I need to know for sure, for whatever reason, then we can find out. Okay, and how did that guy get to that? Oh yeah, because it's part of the sequence of play, that one, isn't it? Yeah, retreat any unpinned paralyzed team. No. What was that one? Yeah, he is under VOF. I was starting to think he's not under VOF, but no, that was where he had to move. Retreat any unpinned paralyzed team under a VOF marker, 1 card. Right, so we're going with that. It could be that it's going to have to be up there, but we'll just stall for time with that one. And then the next one would be retreat any unpinned litter team plus a casualty. Well, there's none of them. No. Okay. And then we've got AT combat and vehicle movement phase next. Mutual combat phase, fire mission update segment. This is when you realise you're taking an incoming marker off when you don't want it, Grant. No, not this time. There's no incoming and there's no pending fire missions. So now potential contact valuation segment. I think I'm going to have to get the little dog. She's wanting up again. Right, we've only got the 1 contact, so it's here. So give me a second. Right, so 1 potential contact, yeah? Yeah, just the 1. Yeah, because we cleared this one up here the last turn, and this one, yeah, disappeared. That was the one that went on guard duty, left it lying. So potential B now. Are we? Oh no, we're not. Look, this what it fell back, didn't it? We're now not going to be heavily engaged because we don't have a friendly and an enemy on the same card. No, this is one of our guys. This is one of our guys, but there's no. Yeah, so we've got cards with 2 or more cards with PDFs, but we don't have the heavily engaged part. So we're just engaged. So that is going to be an extra card draw. So what are we at? Actually, I was saying there wasn't so much use for this, but this has got. I bet this has got this in it as well. This player aid card. It's probably got a lot. I mean, there's the activity levels as well. Now, is that not better laid out? 1 friendly enemy, 2 plus friendly enemy. See that this is all better. Yeah, it doesn't have the bit about the mines, but that was a new thing that they brought in 3rd edition. Yeah, there's probably a lot of good information on this player aid actually. That's the one with the actual actions on it as well, isn't it? So it's just that. That's got weapons capabilities. Oh, that's an interesting one, look. Tells you what track ammo can infiltrate, grazing fire. Lat limitations chart. Yeah, well, I don't want to use these because I know that these are old. You know, I'm having to use some of them at times. The only reason I need to use that is for the strong building, but anyway, what was it for a potential contact B at engaged? Oh, it's only 3 cards. It was 2, but now it's 3. So that's what we're going to draw for this potential contact B. We're going to draw 3 cards. And hope to... there's 1 card in the discard pile that's got the word contact on it. So, right, here's our 3 cards. That's a no. That's a no. Oh, 3 rally cards. That's a no. Okay, so no more contacts. So I'm happy about. I think I've done really quite well with the contact situation, haven't I? I mean, that counter-attack was a bit... Yeah, I was ridiculously lucky with that, like. And the ones that I did get were even luckier, you know. They were a whole lot nothing. Right, well, we only had that one, so that's that done. Activities still engaged, right, nothing else to change about, no. Right, pinned recovery. Remove pin markers for any vehicle or infantry units that are not under a VOF. Right, so this time we do get our guys back here. Because they're not under a VOF. So they become unpinned. So I can probably take the foxholes off and just bring them down, and we should know that everyone's under this foxholes. Hopefully. Right, is there anything else that's pinned? No. That's a cover marker. No. What's that under that assault team? Oh, that's a smoke, innit? Yeah. The useless smoke that he took with him. Wasn't able to use it. Right, nobody else pinned. No, there is not. So let's move on. Right, combat effects. Well, we're gonna find out his fate now. So for each infantry unit, blah blah blah. Yeah, we know how to do this. So I'll do. Well, there's only one of their guys. Yeah, because he's moved to here. There's only one of theirs. So I'll do mine first. Now, although he's still firing, he doesn't fire on himself because he was firing on his card. So although he's firing with automatic weapons, wait a sec. Right, sorry, I got distracted there. Yeah, so they've got one. Yeah, sorry. So we're looking at our guys first. There's only one in there to look up. This is nothing. It's not firing on anything. So coming down, nothing there. Nothing firing here. So we've got this guy here. Assault team, he's under foxholes. And not pinned this time. He was pinned the last time, I think. So we've got automatic weapons. And that is correct, yes. Coming from there. So he's a +3 in his cover. +1 for his foxholes. That's +4. And he's getting a -1. So he's a +3. So pretty good chance. +3. Look at the card. Look at the card. It's the worst card ever. So +3 is a hat, would you believe? Oh, you weren't escaping. I mean, +6 to get a pin out of that one. My. Right, so he's an assault team, so he's line quality. And we get PP, so he is suffering. He's going to be a paralysed team. It's a casualty, that's a fair team, it's a fair team. There we go. Paralysed. So that was kind of grim. So he's paralysed, pinned. Actually, I'm putting the cover. So he's away, assault team. And he's paralysed. Still under his foxholes, but he's pinned. So, I mean, to get him back to an assault team, it's paralysed. Well, you've got to get the pin marker off him first, then move him to a water team, then move him to fire team, then move him to assault team. Four commands to bring him back to what he was. Right, okay, well, that was a bad result. Right. And then the other guy is the guy that we're firing on ourselves. So he's not under the foxholes. Yeah, he's in the open. That's his smoke. His useful smoke. So +2 for the cover, -2 because he's exposed. So that takes it down to 0. But he's getting automatic weapons. He's drawing in our last 2 machine gun points of ammo from both machine guns, and he's getting a crossfire. So it's a -2 in total, isn't it? +2, -2 for exposed, -2. Yeah, so a -2. It's a miss. That's the card we wanted. Well, I suppose we've got one good one and one bad one there. So that was a miss. He's not pinned, so yeah, nothing happens. So we get away with that after all that. Yeah, that's a great card. The worst scenario there is a pin. You'll notice if you actually look at the card, the higher number I think the cards, the better that side is. But it's not necessarily the case there. And yeah, I think it moves about a bit, to be honest. That's maybe not true. Right, so that was a miss. Okay, and we've got this guy of theirs under fire. Now, although we're firing with small arms, we're going to get a grenade. We've got a grenade on him. That was from our bazooka, remember? And you know what? It says, well, in the rulebook, it advises you. I don't know though, because if you concentrate fire with a weapon that uses ammunition, you've got what I'm meaning there is, because I used a bazooka to fire that grenade, I maybe should have marked the ammo off right away. And the same when you do the fire missions. I mean, it tells you to do that right away. I've just always waited to the end to do all the ammo, but you could see how you could maybe miss this. And well, the grenade's got to have come from somewhere, and so is the concentrate fire. So you need to know where that's came from in case it spends an extra point of ammo. We know this one didn't. It was 2-3 platoon, I think, because he's the veteran squad. So I'll put that off for a bit. Anyway, so the grenade come from the bazooka there, but I'm fine. Third bazooka, I'll mark that in. I keep meaning to have another way look for that counter. I forget. Okay, so we've got a grenade, which is -4. He's got... Right, he's getting... No, actually. Because the fire's coming across a white border. Is he not just getting the +1 there? But then this is a grenade. Well, the grenade was fired across a white border. Because I don't think grenades just automatically select the small number. I mean, I think that's only incoming. I need to find grenades, I think. Grenade attack. Do not apply the weather, smoke, or light level modifiers. No, it's not that. I'm pretty sure it's only incoming that get to ignore, these numbers and just select the small number. However, our fire was coming up. I mean, this grenade got fired from the bazooka across this white border, so I think that counts to give him the +1. Yeah. I mean, although we're not counting the small arms, the concentrate fire came across that side as well. I think it really matters to where the grenade came from. Well, to be honest, that's the PDF is crossing that line. We're only able to fire because of that. In fact, Billy just asked a question. I mean, I took a shot at answering it. I don't like to do that because, I've been wrong in answering a couple of questions in the past. I think, that's the last thing you need is somebody, giving you an answer and it's wrong. I've had that a couple of times. I'm not good with that. I'm better at going asking the questions than answering them. What it was there was 2 units on the card firing at each other, and there was no PDF. There was not a situation like this. This wasn't here. and he was asking if a rifle grenade from an arcade could fire into here on the German unit when they were just fighting. I mean, my answer was no, because there's no PDF. In fact, the really links, the really quotes is the rule that says that it has to be, a rifle grenade attack has to be across a PDF. It has to go across a PDF. So it kind of like answers itself, I think. But then again, somebody within the thread said that it could happen. So there you go. I don't know. You're getting 2 views. And you probably need somebody like Andrew to come on with the authority. You want the authoritative figure to sort of say yes or no, you know? And I know maybe whether Andrew considers himself in that position or not. Well, I'm afraid that's where you are now, Andrew, with what you're doing, and, you know, you and Colin doing what you're doing with the rule book. So that's what's going to happen. Because the designer, he's never known to be frequent in the BGG anyway. So I think back in the day when the game first came out, I think maybe a little bit, but he's not answered too many questions. Well, recently anyway. Whether he floats about on what's the other one, but I never use that, so he might float about there, I suppose. Anyway, so where were we? Right, Jessie, you're not getting up. She's been up here twice and just whinged to get back down. Now she's whinging to get back up. What's I doing? Yeah, grenade. So yeah, I'm going to say it's a small number. So hopefully we've got it right, because I don't like it. If it's the other way about, I prefer that. But no, I do feel like it's a small number, so I'm taking it. So we've got a +1, but then we've got -4 for the grenade and -1 for the concentrate fire. So -5 to the +1. So it's a full -4 this. And I'll just look at the -3 just in case. Right, -4's a hit. -3 would have been a hit as well, just in case somebody's going to come back and tell me, no, you... But I can't see how they would. Because to be honest, it's only this top of the card that's got the green border, so... Right, so a hit. That is a fire team. He is green. Let's do something to him. Look at that. Yes, casualty. So it's got a C and an L, but he's only 1 step. He's gone. He's gone. He's a casualty. Good result. Right, this has went pretty well then. Apart from the one we lost. Okay. Casualty. Good. Right, no more combat, no? No. We're about 53 minutes, yeah. It's going to be not an awful lot of apart, but I might get back for another bit tonight, actually. Yeah, hopefully I will. So we've done all that, and then we update ammo. Oh, right, that's a bad part. Right, so now both of our 50 cal machine gun is gone. Right, yeah, we didn't fire that. Both of our light machine guns are now out of ammo. Right, bazooka that fired was third weapons bazooka. That's the one that I had to improvise with a proxy, and that one there, that's fired. We did not fire any fire missions. None of our bazookas fired. No. And the mortar did not fire. No, it's not only exposed, it's in the woods. So, and then none of them, they've got nothing. Well, in fact, they've got nothing. Yeah, they don't have anything. So, oh no, I tell a lie, they've got a paralysed team there. Or is it there? Well, let's maybe it's time. Maybe there's enough time passed for a possible answer to that one. So, well, let me get to the end of the turn, and then I can go and just check. That'll give an extra couple of minutes, maybe. Yeah. So we'll track the ammo. So we are going to need 2 out of ammo counters, because these machine guns do not flip over. I'd like to see an example of one of the units. That fires. Well, maybe Oh, if that flips over. Yeah, maybe. Could this be... See the bazooka? This is the one that's removed from the game. See how it's got the S, and the grenades are the amount of grenades it's got. Well, I've just spent one of them. They only get 3 of them per turn. So once he spent his third one, for him, I think he just flips over his fire team side. And then he's got the S with the C. And he had a SG with a C. So there's not an awful lot of difference. But so rather than put a no ammo marker on him, I think we just flip him over. I think that's how it goes about. But the machine guns we're flipping over and still have automatic weapons on the other side. So that's not any good. So the one... We've got second light machine gun there. I think I'll have to put that on top, really, because if I put it on the bottom, it's going to... Yeah, that'll confuse me. Right, where's the other one? I just got it out just now. Oh, yeah, there it is there. And the other one, yeah, would be buried away in here. Is in there. Okay. Everyone's under the foxholes there. Right, so that's our 2 machine guns out of ammo. But they can still fire. They're just S with C, so they're like they're like fire teams, aren't they? SC is a fire team, isn't it? Yeah. So they've got small arms fire at close range, and they don't then track any more ammo with that. Now, if we come across some machine gun ammo, then we could pick that up and then refill him, take the out of ammo marker off, and then he's good to go again. And then we track whatever amount of ammo that he got. Okay, good. Update ammo, we've done that. Right, so remove pyrotechnics, smoke, expose, grenades, grenade miss. We've got a grenade and a concentrate fire there. Both of them come off. And we've got a couple of exposed markers. There's one here. There's one under this guy. And yeah, if he is meant to be up there, he'll be up there unexposed now as well. We've got one here. Yeah, there's a assault team that went up, and I think that's it. Yeah, this is just pinned, and what that got reduced to a paralysed team, didn't it? Yeah. Right, that's all markers off. So adjust VOF PDFs and activity levels. Right. Well, he's still firing on this card with automatic weapons. So that creates an activity level that as well, which is strange, but it is when Andrew replied to it as well, and he said that's what happened. So fair enough. We are firing on this card still with small arms. There's no unit on this card though, so that doesn't count for activity. This comes off now because he's a casualty, and that PDF comes off. So this guy's fine now. And then, well, we're still firing from both angles at that. So the activity level is still engaged because we've got 2 units with VOFs on them. 2 occupied cards with VOFs on them. So it is still engaged. Yeah. Okay. So, and then that's us moving on to turn 7 now, Grant. That's starting to just look that wee bit hairy, but we've cleared a path now. Well, have we? Well, this card's cleared. This nice open fields that looks enticing. Not. And of course, this paralysed team went on to this card. Or that card maybe. I think we're okay still. I don't think there's an issue. And now we can move this. This is okay now. We've got the pin status off. We've put things back together. This can move. Okay, well, we're going to have to move up in the contact. But this could platoon move into this open field. Because either here or here we've got a potential contact. We need to get something up here for this potential contact. Probably something breaking away from here up to this. And also start firing at that paralysed team if he's there. If he's up there, then maybe not. And yeah. Anyway, we can work on that. So I'm going to cut the part. I'm just going to have a quick look and just see if we can finalise this guy's position if I've got an answer. Yeah, I got a reply from Billy, who's the one that just asked a question about the other thing about the rifle grenade, and he says that his take is that yeah, he feels like moving sideways would be okay because it's retreating from combat, it's not moving into VOF. So yeah, it does start making me think that. And it's not that there's wording in there that says, and like I say, when you read fall back, let me just find it quickly. Oh, how did I've been too quick, I've moved the page, yeah. When it says fall back, enemy units receive a fall back order as a result of an activity check will move towards their own side of the map. So that does mean enough to move that way. But I suppose if you consider the two words here, or the two conditions, fall back clearly means do that, doesn't it? Without even looking up the rule. But retreat. But Billy's right though, because it was in combat, and all it's doing is getting out of the combat. So yeah, I think he's right. Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I'm going to go with that. Because we need to move on. So I'm going to go with the fact that he's still there. And if somebody comes back and says otherwise, I mean, if Andrew comes around and says, well, no, it shouldn't be that, then I've asked, part of my question was that if it is that, can you show me it in the rules where it says that you have to move back a row, back to the next row, because I've not seen it there. And if that is the case, then surely that needs some adjusting. But it may well be that, no, that's what Billy says is right. It's just getting out of combat. It makes sense, doesn't it? So my whole thing about it making common sense to retreat, to move back, maybe doesn't make common sense at all. Anyway, right, okay. So I moved the marker on to turn 7. Right, I'm going to copy this across and see if I can get a little bit more gameplay on. So I'll be back shortly. Cheers.